Hi sewing friends. Last week I told you that I wanted to make these Simplicity 9471 pants. And I thought I'd share with you today my experience with it. Excuse me. And what I thought of the pants pattern and the pants. You know, overall I think I'm going to love these pants. They were really easy to make. I like the look of the pants. And here they are. First, let's backtrack. So let me tell you a little bit about these pants. They look very much almost like a jean in that, and I don't know if you could see that. I'll try and get it to focus. It has your pants, it has a yoke, and then it has a waistband. And the fabric that I chose to make my wearable toile, hopefully, was this fabric that I got from Joann's. And I had this for a while in my stash, and I think I bought it with the intent to make those. I just never got around to it. But this is some sort of cotton blend, and I'm not really sure exactly what the blend is. But there is, I don't know if you can see, there is some stretch to it. And this isn't give in the fabric. This actually feels like real, true, honest to goodness stretch. So I'm thinking there might be maybe like 1% elastine in it. I'm not really sure. Because it definitely feels like stretch, not like give, if you know what I mean. So anyhow, this is the fabric that I made. And then I went ahead and looked at the package here to try and get as much information as I can from it to choose my size. And so what I did is, I looked at these body measurements up here. And I decided to go with a size 22 because they have a waist size of 37. And honestly, my waist is more like a 39. So that's a 2-inch difference. Now, I was also trying to find garment measurements, and I will get to that. But you have to start somewhere, right? And then the size 20, they have a waist of 34. And I thought, ooh, too much of a difference. And then the hip for the size 22 is a 46, and my hips measure a 46 and a half. Now they also measure, and I've noticed this on a lot of the big fives, is they'll say hip at 9 inches below the waist. And that's a point I'll come back to later. So I decided to do a size 22. Now looking at the finished garment measurements, all you get on this, on the outside, was a hip measurement, and the finished garment was 48 and a half. And I thought, I really didn't know how much ease you need in your hips, because you obviously want to be able to sit down. But the 20 was 46 and a half, which was exactly my hip measurement. So I thought, okay, that's going to be too much, or not enough ease. It won't be any ease. And I won't be able to sit down. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And then I was trying to find some finished garment measurements on the pattern itself, because like with Vogue and Butterick and even Simplicity, sometimes you can find, excuse me, I have a little frog in my throat. You can find the finished garment measurements on the pattern. But you didn't really see the waist measurement on this one either, the finished garment one, and you really didn't even see the hips. And I think it might be because there are 2 pattern pieces to the front and 2 to the back. So I don't know if you can see the back, if you can see the different pattern piece there. And then the front, I don't know if you can tell in the light, but there's a seam that goes down there. And so when you have the front and the back, you actually have to kind of lay the patterns on top of each other to kind of get that full pattern piece that we're used to seeing with pants. So I'm thinking maybe that's why they didn't have them. But I do have to, I'm sorry, I'm going to go down a little rant here. But it does sort of irritate me that a company as big as, Simplicity, the big 5, can't put finished garment measurements on the outside of their patterns, when indie patterns, who are sometimes just one-woman shows, or maybe just have a staff of 2 or 3 or 4, are able to get finished garment measurements on their patterns. Just saying. And I know that Mimi G is out there trying to make some changes with these big 5 patterns, so, That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyhow, I went with the size 22. And then I decided to baste everything because I want to go ahead and make, I know this isn't going to fit right out of the pattern, you know. So I decided to just baste everything so I can make some adjustments. And then other than the zipper, here's everything basted up. And as you can see, it has your pant, it has this yoke here, and then it has a waistband, and then it does have elastic in the back. And let me see if I can show you this back piece here. Oh, where's the seam? You really can't tell, but there's this seam, this back piece here that goes here to the seam. And I'm thinking that all these might be good places for fitting, you know, because you have two pieces in the front, 2 pieces in the back, and it just gives you more room to adjust the pattern to get a good fit. So anyhow, I made these up according to the pattern, and holy moly, these things are huge on me. I think I got some video. They're huge. Oh my gosh, and look at that. That's huge. And it's not just, I don't think, the drape of the fabric or anything like that. They're just huge. But I like the pattern. And so this is what I think I want to do. I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to make some adjustments on the pattern. And these are the adjustments that I think I need to make. One, I'm going to go down to a size 20. So I'm going to go ahead and retrace it out in a size 20. I think I do need to shorten the length, the crotch length, you know, from the center front, your belly button, all the way to the center back. I want to shorten that by 1/2 inch. But here's another thing too. Remember how I said on the finish, or on the measurements here, that they have the hip measurement from 9 inches down from the waist? Well, when I was taking Susie Fuhr's pattern drafting class, like the pants sloper or the skirt sloper class, and I actually took her Craftsy class and made a whole bunch of skirts, and I need to get back into that. I really do, because I love that. And then I sort of got sidetracked, and then I actually took her class during the pandemic, and my goal was actually I was going to go to enroll in her school and do Saturday classes, you know, for the next 2 years. And of course the pandemic happened. She ended up closing her school. She went online, so I took a couple of online courses. But anyhow, in her classes and in her book, she says the industry standard from the waist to the low hip is 8.5 inches. So there's a 1/2 inch difference there. And then, you know, in talking with, you know, the class, talking and making comments, you know, and she would say also that if you're petite, sometimes you need to actually make that 8 inches instead of 8.5. But if you're tall, let's say 5'11" or something, you might have to lengthen that, you know, which is why when you would record your measurements, you would record your waist and then your high hip at a depth of 4.5 inches and a low hip at a depth of 8.5. But I've told you this before, how my length is from my bust apex down to my waist in my body. And then it's not as long from my waist down to my high hip and low hip. So, and I would look at patterns. I've only made like 4 pairs of pants, and I just don't like the way they looked. And they always had a lot of extra room, like I could pinch out the front, you know, part in my low tummy, my abdomen. And even though I would shorten the length, the crotch length, it still just didn't look right. And this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm interested to try. I think that, you know how on patterns you can see the hip curve? We all have that hip curve. Theirs is at 9 inches. I think I need to bring mine up to 8.5, maybe 8. So I'm thinking that the proportion is wrong. You know, there's fit and proportion. I'm thinking that it's just too low. And even though I shorten the length, the crotch length, the hip, you know, where it's kind of doing that hip curve and coming out, I still think that needs to be lifted up. So I'm excited to make these pattern adjustments to see what's going to happen. And then, I don't know if I can put video or if I have video. My goodness, the back of these pants are huge. I mean, I don't know what the back of her pants look like, but mine were huge. Now, I know I kind of have a flat butt, okay? It's not ridiculously flat, but it's also not that nice little kind of, you know, what is it? Girl got back or something. No, we ain't got junk in the trunk, nothing like that. But this is super, super big. So I think I need to take in the inner seam in the back, size it down to a size 18, bring that hip, you know, where it goes down up, and then shorten the crotch length. So that's going to be my next toile. And then I'm also going to just try and make the adjustments on these to try and make them wearable, because I have to say, if I can get a good fit on these pants, I'm going to really like them. I could see myself making several pair in denim, in twill, and, you know, all sorts of fabrics. So yes, I'm excited about this. I just need to work on it. And the next thing I want to show you, I just need to do the sleeves. I'm almost done. This is my Capelia Cardi. Let me show you. I have it here. From Paper Cup. The Capelia Cardi. Here's kind of a color. I don't know if you can see that better. And what it pretty much is a ballet sweater. And I'll stand up and show you it. I made this out of a merino wool that I got from Oak Fabrics. Okay, and I just need to put the cuff on it. But I'm also wondering, because it's a very thin merino wool, do I want to maybe make this just a 3/4 length? Because this is kind of going into spring. So anyhow, it's super warm. I really like it. And then I showed you this skirt that I made, the Simplicity skirt, which I made this cardi to go specifically with this skirt. And I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and tiptoe, put it together, see? So I'm hoping, I need to do the button and buttonhole on my waistband here, and I just need to add a little hem. Got to finish the sleeves, and I'm going to try and get that done. I don't think I'll get it done tonight. It's getting late here, and I'm tired. Need to go to bed. So I'll get that done maybe Monday night so I can wear it to work Tuesday. But I did want to show it to you because, you know, I really do love a ballet cardigan. And I think Tilly and the Buttons came out with the pearl cardigan, which is very similar. It's just a look that I like. You know, here I have it with my Hudson joggers. I don't know if you can see. I'd have to move back. But it's just... Whoa. I just like a Capelia, like a ballet cardigan. I don't need to justify it. I don't need to explain it. I just do. I think it's very feminine and it's pretty and I like it. So, other plans that I have, I've told you about, is I do need to start on my Harrison Ford button-up shirt. And I'm going to put you on pause for a minute and come back and tell you about that real quick. Okay, so here is a Harrison, Cashmere Harrison button-up shirt, oops, that I made back in 2019. And I made this out of an Oxford cotton, or an Oxford shirting that I got at Britex Fabrics. And it is a shirting, so it's not a real drapey material. It's kind of a very nice, tight weave cotton. And I actually make notes when I make something. And I could see, because it says 11/19, so I knew that I made this back in November of 2019. And it says I did a 1-inch full bicep adjustment, and I like that. I knew I needed to do that. I shortened the length by 1.5 inches. That's good to know because I remember I made it first out of this other material, and it was super long. I mean, super long. So I did shorten the length by 1.5 inches. Now here's what I'm wondering about. It says I used the EF cup in a size 18, too big in the chest area. I'm taking in princess seams to help fit. And so I actually kept the piece that I took in on the princess seam. And that's, I don't know if you could tell that, but that's pretty good. That I think is like 1 inch or so. And then here it is. I guess I had to take it in here on the princess seam, and because that then changed it, I had to do something with the front sleeve. So here's the dilemma that I have. I actually like this fit. I've worn this shirt quite a bit. I'm very happy with it, which is why I want to make some other ones. But like I told you before, what I want to do is make it in an off-white. This is a really nice off-white ivory twill, again from Britex fabric. And I like the off-white because this is really more my color than the bright white. When I go to the Cashmerette website and I use their sizing calculator, it actually says that I should use a size 14 EF cup, grade to an 18 at the waist, and then grade back to a 16 at the hip. So, and that size 14 just really kind of, I just don't know. I just don't know. I always thought I had broad shoulders, but I'm thinking I don't have as broad as shoulders as I thought I did. I just have big boobs. Although I do have kind of more of a V back, but maybe it's not as broad as I thought it was, but I'm still a little afraid of a size 14 on a top, and then I'm gonna have like right here, at the underarm, grade down to a 18. That's 2 sizes, and then to 16. So I'm wondering if I just did a size 16 EF cup, if that would work, and I won't have to take out all this fabric to get the fit that I like. I mean, part of me is really proud that I did this on the fly. I just said I'm going to make it, and as I'm making it, I'm putting it on, going, okay, this doesn't fit right, this doesn't fit right. And then I'm wondering, am I too picky? Did I really need to remove this? Would it have worked without? I mean, I don't know. My battery gave out, sorry about that. So again, I'm wondering, what size should I make on my Harrison shirt? Because I do have this Liberty Lawn, which is a kind of a stiffer, a tighter weave, so it's stiffer. It's much more like, much more like my cotton Oxford shirting that I have. And I don't want to make a toile. Isn't that terrible? I don't want to make another toile because I just don't. So this is what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to start with this Liberty Lawn and do the same thing as I did with this. I feel pretty confident. So I'm going to try a size 16 EF cup. Yeah. Do the adjustments to the length and to the bicep adjustment, and then add a little bit of length to the sleeve. And I bet you that'll work. And if I have to, sort of pinch some out, I can do that. I can do that. Because I want to get a good fit, because this twill here is just a little drapier. It's not quite as a, I don't know if you can tell here. Well, I don't want to unwrap it, but yeah, it's a little drapier than the Cotton Lawn and the Oxford shirting. So those are my plans. I'm trying to hurry up here because I don't want my battery to run out again. I just switched it. I think I only have 20%. So let me see, where is everything? Gonna do another toile on this, make some adjustments, let you know what I think. Love my Capelia sweater. Gonna get my skirt and sweater all finished up, wear that to work this week. Then gonna get started on my Harrison button-up shirt. And I'm just so excited, guys, because I've got my Sojo back, I've got my YouTube back. That sounds weird. No, I got my Sojo back and my YouTube mojo back. I don't know. I'm just feeling good. And so what I'm hoping for on these is that I'm going to give you a detailed video of the adjustments that I make, and then a comparison as to how they fit after I make one. Yeah, I'm thinking I can do an in-depth video on this and really work on the fit. So that's all I have for this week. I hope you're doing well. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you hopefully before next week, but if not, next week. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Bye-bye.